Hi, my name's John here. I'm the designer of games like Sensible Soccer, Cannon Fodder, Whizball, Parallax and Sociable Soccer, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hello Andy, this is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig.
Hi, still me, still David, still One Up Gaming. Hopefully you're all having a nice, wonderful time. This is episode 420 of the One Up Game podcast. So thank you all for coming, thank you all for watching. Now this is going to be, look weird what I'm doing here, but it's going to be a weird one today. I'm going to mainly talk about this little device, the Powkiddy X28. I bought this because I wanted to see if I could actually get it to play GameCube games, PlayStation 2 sort of games, because I love me management games, and there was some on the PS2 which I loved, and I've heard GameCube's not too bad on this. So it's got your stacked buttons. They're not analog, which is annoying, but they are nice. They feel alright in the hand. I find that the buttons are a little bit small. The D-pad's a little bit small. These are a little bit small. Everything's just small on this device. From what I can gather, it's the same size as the Nintendo Switch Lite. It's an Android-based device, and I love the fact it's got like the home buttons and stuff, so you can click them. And it is just a great little. I think I pressed wrong buttons. It's that one. So you can like go through N64. So say PlayStation Portable. Click the button. It loads up all the games on there, which is pretty cool. I do like this. It's getting better. When I first started playing it, it was horrendous. The sticks don't work very well. The buttons are alright, but the D-pad was a bit finicky. But now that I've got used to the actual setup and the buttons, the sticks are still not perfect. They're not as precise as I like. But the D-pad's getting better. The triggers are okay. If anyone knows why, and I mean why, on some games does the right trigger on GameCube, on the Dolphin emulator, I think it's the MJR2 or something stupid. I will come out of this. Dolphin MMJR2. I've got it set up, all the buttons work, but on some games, when you're driving, you press the right trigger for the accelerator, the gas, and you accelerate, but it also turns right. So you have to hold left and accelerate to go straight forward. If you want to turn right, you just let go of the analog stick. But if you want to turn left, you have to let go of the accelerator and turn left. And it's a bit weird. So if anyone knows the reason why that is, I've gone through the settings, I've gone through the calibration stuff, and everything looks fine. But I might be an idiot, I might be doing something. Let me know in the comments. So this is going to be just me talking about 11 games that I've played on this, on the GameCube. So yeah. Sponsored by Games Inspired Music. Buy it, stream it. If you do that, then 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. Getting over a cold. I don't feel well at all. We also have our first 100 podcasts available at audiobooksontape.com. Just go onto there, search One Up Gaming, and if you buy that, then we will donate £1 to the Diabetes UK charity. If you want to buy hats, mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, loads of stuff, then go to ougtech.square.site. So please go on there, have a look around and see what you think. We would love to see you kitted out in some cool stuff. My favourite thing on there is probably the Sega Rally t-shirt. I've had mine for like 2.5 years now, and it is starting to fall apart now. I might have to buy myself a new one. So this is the games played this week. So I'll go through all the games that I've managed to play on the little Powkiddy X28. So please go on to the Powkiddy website. It was about £100, and I think it's like $130, and it's got free shipping, no import tax, which is always a plus in my mind. Because when I bought some of the Anbernic stuff, you buy it for 150, 160 quid, and then you also have to pay like 30, 40 quid import tax. So that's annoying. So, right, we will get on to the games played this week. So first of all, 1080 Avalanche. So this is the sequel to 1080 Snowboarding from the N64. This one was a launch game on the GameCube. Now it looked amazing when all those years ago. Now it's a bit simple, but still great. It plays well on the device. It's got a touch of slowdown, a little bit of stuttering, but it's playable. It goes well. I might play more of this game, like get into it more. But yeah, that's that. So this is just going to be a quick 20-second pitch of the games and how it runs on the device. So then the next up we had Lotus Challenge. Now this is like a so-called simcade racing game. So it's like a sim, but like on a console back in 2002, whatever it was. So it will be a little bit arcadified, and I loved what I played. I really did. It played well. It looked good. Again, this is one of those games where you hit the accelerator and it turns right, and it's just weird. I don't understand it, but the game itself is good. I really enjoyed the game. I'd recommend it. It says a few racing games on here, but not too bad. So yeah, Lotus Challenge, really recommend. Good game. Next up, Burnout 2, Point of Impact. Now this one was, because the original Burnout was a bit ropey and a bit rubbish, to be honest. This one, they polished it really well and it plays really well. I've forgotten how fast this game is, and it plays amazing on this little device. So Burnout 2, fast, smooth, really fun. It's got the crash mode, it's arcade, fun. It's just a really good little game. So Burnout 2, great game. Next up, Eternal Darkness. Now this game, if there's other characters on the screen, it runs like half speed and it's really annoying. But when it's just you doing puzzles and exploring, it's almost full speed. But I would still say don't play the game on the device. It's just not worth it, to be honest. So yeah, Eternal Darkness, a bit disappointed. I'd never played the game before. Like my brother used to have the game. He had the GameCube. I had the original Xbox. He probably had that, but I never played it. It's my sort of game. I do love those sort of story-driven sort of games. But anyway, next up, Medal of Honor Rising Sun. And this one, again, unplayable. It's running like less than half speed. Really glitchy, really bad. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this game either. It's just your bog standard first person shooter sort of game. Yeah. So just quickly moving on. Super Monkey Ball, great game. I love this game. It plays really well on the device. Analog sticks really help. And yeah, it's a good fun time. Next up, Pikmin. Now, I remember playing this years ago. Like I say, my brother had this, he had this game. And I remember it looking almost photorealistic. It looked absolutely amazing. Going back onto it on this little device, it plays well, it's smooth, it doesn't stutter that much. Frame rate is almost perfect. It just looks very muddy, very like blurry. But I think that's just the game. It's like 20-year-old. You know, you just think that you remember things as they were, but you don't. You don't remember them half as bad as what they were. But yeah, so Pikmin, it's a fun little game. Get your little Pikmin, send them out as orders, little turn-based, sort of like, not turn-based, just like a strategy sort of point-and-clicky strategy game. But yeah, I remember it being really fun. I mean, I never got that into it on this little device. I was just recording 10-minute videos of the games to put up on the channel just so people can see how they play. So next up we have The Simpsons Road Rage. So it's the game that EA... Was it EA? I can't remember if it was EA now. But anyway, whoever published it, they did an out-of-court settlement with Sega because it's basically just Crazy Taxi with the Simpsons skin on. It looks good, it plays well. It has a bit of slowdown, but it's still playable on this little device. And yeah, if you like Crazy Taxi, give it a go. It's fun. A fun game. So next up we have SRS, which I'm not even going to bother googling and looking into it. I think it's Street Racing Syndicate, and it's made by Namco. So this is like going back into the looking of a little bit more realistic, like a Need for Speedy sort of game. And so it's not as arcadeified as Ridge Racer, but unfortunately on this device, two main problems. One, the game runs at like 30-40% of the proper speed, so it's so slow and so janky. And two, the fact that when you accelerate it turns right, and it's just so annoying. It really is. But at least it's not a great game on this device. It's so slow and so unresponsive that, yeah, it's just not very good. So anyway, next up we have Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six 3. And again, I'm trying to remember now. I think it was just slow. You know, I don't think it played well. But do you know what? Just as a completionist, is that a word? Alright, click on Rainbow Six 3. Go to the channel. Will it play Rainbow Six 3? Yeah, that's what the videos we're going to be doing. We're just gonna do... Tell you what, there's a lot of... I think it loaded and plays. Tell you what, why is my internet so slow? There we go. So it should be running at, because I've got this, the PAL ROMs, so the UK ROMs. So this should run at 50 frames a second, and this is doing about 38 frames per second, 37. So it's running, oh god, that's gone down to 25 frames. So it probably playable, but then it just kind of falls and just slows right down. So yeah, I would not play this sort of game on this device. Although I'd forgotten how these older Rainbow Six games were a lot more skill-based, sort of slow, tactical, thoughtful sort of games, whereas the new ones are a lot more like fast-paced Call of Duty style, sort of bang bang kill people games. But yeah, unfortunately, the little Powkiddy X28 just isn't powerful enough for the game. And the last game that we played this week was Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. And again, I kind of missed this generation of Mortal Kombat sort of games, and it played flawlessly on this little device. Looked great, played amazing, fast, smooth, fluid, all the moves, all the people, all the frames. It's just great. It's a fun little game, and yeah, easily recommended. It played amazing. So I think the two best games that I played this week is probably Burnout 2 and Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. So we're going to have a quick break and we'll be back with the goodbyes. And if you're watching this just as the game's played this week's sort of section on its own, please come back to the podcast and come back after this section. Some massive important news that we need to get out there and get said. So yeah, we will have this quick break and we'll be back in a few seconds. So thank you. Goodbye.